and welcome to Downloadable Opinions, episode number 12. I am one of the hosts, Brian Best, and joining me as always is the villainous Adam Gayton. How you doing, Adam?
It's the weekend. I'm doing good.
You sound depressed for doing very well on the weekend.
Well, because tomorrow's Monday, which means I go back to work.
Yes, and so do I. And we're sitting in my workplace, so...
Which is even more weird, I guess.
It's a quiet place, okay? And my boss lets us do it. Oh, whatever. Anyways, moving on. This is too much inside stuff. Anyways, this week we've got a great show lined up for you. We got some Black Ops information for you. Basically, opinions on downloadable content. And
opinions on ourselves. Downloadable opinions, you know.
We have opinions on ourselves. That's how egotistical we are.
I hate you, Brian.
My name's Brian Best.
I hate it. I hate your name. I hate your voice. I hate your everything.
Why do you hate me? I'm sorry.
I'm the villain. I hate everything.
Okay, well, fine. You can be the villain.
You've been calling me the villain for 12 episodes now. Of course I'm the villain.
And later on, Adam's got some reviews of Persona 4 Arena and London 2012 Olympics.
Spoiler alert, it doesn't suck.
Which is surprising to me.
You're going to get to find out after this podcast, which is going to be interesting.
I know. I'm so excited. Well, I'm kind of excited. I'm not really.
You're intrigued.
I'm intrigued.
Because the words...
I'm stroking my beard in wonder. The words
decent Olympic game...
That's never been used.
Yeah.
Ever.
Except for California games. The really, really, really old NES game. That was fun.
Oh, jeez. I never played that game, so...
Well... You missed out. You missed out on the one shining bit of glory before now.
I'm sorry. I was too busy playing... whatever I was playing on the SNES. Anyways.
I'm just saying, I have one too, but...
Let's get started into the show. Black Ops 2 multiplayer trailer was released this past week, showing off 2 glorious minutes of all the multiplayer things that you really, really want to have.
It was awesome.
Adam thinks it's awesome. I saw a bit of it. I think it's actually pretty cool, but nothing over the top and we haven't seen before, to be honest.
It's all in the future, so I'd say that's a little unusual.
Okay, it's in the future.
Oh, come on, that attachment where you can see campers behind the walls.
It's been done before. The Far X and Perfect Dark, or Far Scope, sorry. It's been done in countless games.
Yeah, but those walls are so glitchy you could see through the walls half the time anyway.
It's been done before. The heartbeat monitor.
But it's not been done by mainstream.
Not Ghost Recon. Yeah. Well, okay. What the hell's mainstream gaming, anyways? I mean, like.
Well, it wasn't mainstream then, so nowadays, this is the first time we're seeing a risk like this.
It's only innovative because Call of Duty's doing it. It's been done.
I never said it was innovative. I'm saying it's just different from what we're used to. Because it's Treyarch.
Placeable riot shields.
It's not Modern Warfare.
You have the placeable riot shields has been in Gears and War for like a while, and it's been in countless other games as well. Yeah,
but it's like I said, it's different for this genre because in modern games they don't take stuff like this.
It's different because Call of Duty's doing it.
I'm looking at my list right now. I never said once that these were new things. I just said they were things that we got to see in the trailer.
Okay. How about you? You're really excited about it. I'm going to let you talk about it.
Well, the gist of it really was that we just got to see a lot of new things. I mean, the HUD changes were really exponential. I mean, it looks really flashy. You see the perks at all times. They had this really cool thing where it's like a screen up against the wall where you see everything you have as your life starts.
Yep.
Which is interesting, so that way you can have that in your head as you're starting at what you have.
It's very Tom Clancy Splinter Cell Conviction, to be honest. But it's really nice to see that is one innovation I'd kind of like to see. And if there's some weird kind of like way of selecting different items and changing it, that'd be kind of cool. I mean,
there are a lot of I'm not going to say new things, but new to Call of Duty things. Because Call of Duty is, like most people would complain about, it's very generic, it's very samey, they never change anything.
Yep.
Treyarch has done something that is new for Call of Duty because it's finally something that is so completely away from the World War II or the, Black Ops was still 60s, 70s kind of deal, so it was still past games, and we're out of the modern age. We're going into territory we don't even know exists. Mm-hmm. So a lot of things that we got to see, the first thing they start off with, which I don't know if there was an actual name for it, but they called it a shock charge.
Shock charge? How is that? I'm complaining because my battery's about to die on my cell phone.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm like, are we getting like a mommy call or something like that?
Nope. I am...
girlfriend calling to grief?
My girlfriend will not call me to grief. Not yet, anyways. Continue with your story, Adam. I'm liking this.
That was an awkward moment.
This was an awkward moment.
The shock, I think they were called shock charge. I don't know if they got an official name for it, but it basically looks like it's a stun grenade that explodes with an electric charge, and it has a knife attached to it, which is interesting because a lot of people were kind of confused, thinking, well, we have throwing knives and there are tomahawks back in the game, so do these knives still have instant kill capability, or are they just still stun grenades that could do at least like half health of damage or something like that? Mm-hmm. But there were other things, There are like we said earlier, there was this attachment on a gun that if you look through the sight of it, it's a little rectangle on top. Well, it's not a little one compared to most sights. It's a big rectangle. Mm-hmm. But through that sight, you can see a ghost or shadowish kind of figure of people behind objects.
Which will be great for those small close quarters
Which is
maps.
great for the people who like to sit in those corners and just wait with a shotgun or something stupid like that because they just want to knife kids.
Yeah.
It's great for people who want to do that. There are other weird kill streaks like the Guardian, which looks like almost like a SAM turret in a sentry gun is, but instead it gives this shock or sort of like a frequency wave that kind of stuns people.
For any of the science geeks out there, it's an LRAD essentially. It's a microwave transmitter.
Whatever. But there were other things like the Dragonfire, which is that I don't know if people have ever seen that toy helicopter, the one with the fans that you can remote control and that kind of thing, but it has a gun on it, so really like with anything.
And the rate of fire on that gun is ridiculous. It just shoots everything.
A lot of people are looking at like it's a chopper gun or just remote control.
Yeah.
But the one thing that at least makes, I guess to even it out, is that it's a lot easier to destroy than the RCXD was in the original Black Ops, which was a bitch. Mm-hmm. For anybody who played Black Ops, that was probably the most annoying kill streak, and it was the easiest to get. It took 3 kills. Mm-hmm. It was a remote control car that would kill you by explosion, because as long as it's close to you, you're fucked. And that thing was going so fast, and it's such a small hitbox that it's really hard to take it down. So, really, if the second you hear incoming RCXD, your first thought is, fuck, I need to hide in a corner where he's not going to find it on his camera.
I need to jump up on uneven ground.
But the big things that they showed off is their system and how they have all these slots available for perks and attachments and stuff. Mm. And there were weird things. So you could have 6 perks. I don't know if that's a special proficiency or something they got to put up, but you can take away perks to get the 6 perks you can get if you don't have a primary weapon. That's interesting. You just have a secondary, a knife, and then you have 6 perks.
Yeah.
So you can be this walking tank, but you don't have a good gun. Mm-hmm. So it's an interesting dynamic. So I guess for people who really like running around knifing and all that, and people who walk around with pistols or whatever, it's an interesting concept to it.
Well, that one person that's really good with pistols and having 6 different perks will definitely change.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, there's other stuff, too, that you can give up a perk for an extra attachment. I don't know if that's confirmed, but that was a guess from some people. Because Woody's gamertag, I've said his name a lot, too, here. Mm-hmm. And he did a long look through and really just stopping the trailer for a good 20 minutes, going through and trying to pick out every little piece of it. Mm-hmm. And that was one thing he noticed. Mm-hmm. Another thing is you can carry 2 Tomahawks or 2 C4s, which could really leave the door open, but you're sacrificing a slot. Mm-hmm. But the big one, and to me this is huge, multi-team deathmatch. So more than 2 teams. Mm-hmm. Free-for-all is insane, but I'm thinking now you have like teams of 4, so you really get like 4 teams of 4 would just be, that would be intense.
It would be tough, and it'd actually be like, it would be an interesting game, that's for sure.
I mean, with something like that, like, fuck.
Well, you're definitely leaving out the entire free-for-all thing, and having a group of like 4 people on a team really makes, communicating with each other a big deal.
Exactly, because you got 3 other teams down your back. Like, you have to really pay attention to where your guys are, because they're now... It's not like it's, I don't know what the format... I'm assuming it'd be teams of 4, because I can't imagine it being 6s again.
Yeah, well, 4, that's 12 people. 16 people.
16, which is ground war territory. That's what... I really don't like ground war. Because it gets to the point where just 2 teams of 8, or 2 teams of 9, actually, I think it is. It gets really overwhelming to the sense that, you could, especially Modern Warfare 3, because the spawning shit there is that at any moment you could just pop in and there's a guy literally right behind you just ready to knife you as you spawn in.
Yep.
And with that many guys, it just increases the chance of that. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that it's not that I want ground war taken out, but I hope it's a good replacement to it. That people will want to go for that more.
The thing is, I can see that being a competition maker. Having teams of 4.
I think that's the point of it, because at the end of the clip, they had what seemed like an announcer in the background, so it was definitely trying to show off that that's what they want to do with it.
Well, I think Treyarch and Infinity Ward, they both want Call of Duty to become that esport level game.
Because Halo got there at one point, and it's just gone away.
Well, Halo 2, ever since Halo 2,
do you ever remember, it actually used to be on our TVs at one point. The score used to put MLG tournaments up.
Yeah. Well, Halo up until Reach, it's always been a World Cyber Games esport game. Yeah. Now I just don't know. We'll see what happens with Halo 4, but Call of Duty definitely wants to take up that spot. It's trying to become, well, at least I think with this the multi-team deathmatch, I think they want to try and get into that realm of Counter-Strike.
Yeah. Which, when Global Offensive comes out, will pretty much take that away.
Well, we'll see what Global Offensive does.
It's Valve. Are we really expecting anything better?
It best be the best thing out there.
Did you hear that Steam's going to go out of gaming stuff and doing like applications and shit now on the side?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, Gavin Newell had a conference with a bunch of people, and basically said, since Windows 8 looks like to be a catastrophe, he's looking at things like Linux and then other operating systems to move out and put Valve on these things and make them like better experiences for not just gamers but other people as well. Not to mention, they're looking at making peripherals from that, which I didn't even know that Steam or Valve has an entire R&D department.
Yeah, the Steam box that was rumored.
Yeah, but they're looking at making like different keyboards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they were big supporters behind the Oculus Rift as well, which is still going on in terms of the Kickstarter campaign.
As we said last week, VR is back and it is sexy.
It is sexy, but also freaking scary as hell. Well, I did a blog post on my website about games that we shit scared to play on the Oculus Rift. The top of that list is, Slender and Amnesia. But the bottom of that list is Katamari Damacy. I just, the king of all cosmos, that would haunt my nightmares the entire time, the rest of my life. Could not do it.
Somebody had nightmares.
Oh, God. Anyways, Black Ops 2 will be released on November 13th, so be sure to pre-order and check it out. Done. Well, you have. I won't.
I know you won't, you Battlefield bitch.
Hey, Battlefield's amazing. Going into the next thing, which is more of opinion-based, but should DLC be free? CD Projekt's Red's Konrad Tomaskowitz. Did I do that right?
I knew you were going to screw up.
Tomaskowitz, all right. Said in an interview with VG 24/7 that DLC should be free as a thanks to consumers for purchasing their games. He said, "We've always believed that free DLC is. We've always believed in free DLC. The thing we consider DLCs as a small post-sale service, which shouldn't be priced. Back when retail games were dominant, we had expansion packs. These were large chunks of content that were well worth the price. If today's DLCs offered the same amount of content, they'd be worth paying for. But most cases, players think that they're overcharged for what they receive. They think what we offer expansions to our games are free. What? Basically, he's saying, in terms of, because he's the one of the designers on The Witcher, right?
Yeah.
He's saying that all their DLC is or should be free, and that if they do want to charge someone for it, it should be an expansion pack how it used to be.
Yeah, because I mean, when you think of like a World of Warcraft expansion pack, like it's colossal in size. It's not like whenever you see, like for example, when I'm reviewing Persona 4 Arena, they have a lot of little DLC things where it's like how in every game there's always unlockables, but you have to do these certain conditions.
Yeah.
They let you pay for those. Like there are, I think it's 5 different navigation voices. Like 5 different characters in the game will do the navigations, like the announcing of every match. And one of them, you have to do like 1,000 online matches to get her. I'm like, why the fuck would you play 1,000 matches? I can't even play 100 matches on offline. So I'm like, come on, guys, like,
it's.
So I mean, stuff like that to make us pay for that too is a little much.
Well, think back to like the times of the expansion pack. Like, go back and think about The Sims, or even better, Age of Empires.
Yeah.
When those came out, the expansion pack Conquistadors for Age of Empires: Age of Kings was a $30 game, I think. So let's compare that to today's thing. Mass Effect, Rise of the Ashes, the Day 1 DLC for Mass Effect 3. That was what, $5, $10?
Yeah, mind you, I had the collector's edition, so I didn't have to.
Yeah,
but considering it was $10
for
one mission,
and
a character that most people didn't like
and didn't use, and maybe gave like an extra 20 minutes of conversations. So $30 for an entire game versus $10 for a single mission.
And then, of course, we have to go on to the always just amazing, great DLC people in Capcom with their characters already saved on the disc, and they charge you like $10-15
to access them. Yeah,
that's insane. Like that's why, Teen Ninja boss Yosuke Hayashi says he's not going to put that in Dead or Alive 5 because it's stupid.
It doesn't make sense.
They're just characters. It's not enhancing your game.
No,
it's not changing your game. It's just adding more people to play. But it's not anything that's really expanding on anything. It's just giving you one more face.
It's nice to have, but don't you remember when you had to unlock those characters through gameplay?
Yeah, like how I never knew there were 4 secret characters for Super Smash Brothers until I played it like for 20 hours and then finally had my first hit of Luigi.
Yeah.
And then finally I'm like, oh.
That existed.
Okay, internets, let's see what you have to There's 4 of them?
How did you not unlock Jigglypuff and then see the 4 other characters?
Because apparently the conditions that I had to meet just never happened somehow.
You know what? It's just DLC can be done right, and I think the guy with Conrad is right in terms of what it should be. You don't want to say the last name again, do you? I'm not saying his last name again. Basically saying that basically if you're gonna make it, charge something, then charge it for something that's worth the money. Like, I don't know, when Mass Effect 3's Leviathan comes out, I think they'll be worth about $5. I know they're charging 10, but
my big example was the SAS DLC for 13.2 for Final Fantasy 13.2.
What happened to that?
I think it was like $10, and all it was because there's Serendipity, which is a casino like minigame place, and they clearly have card tables in the casino when the game came out.
Yeah,
but you can't play on them. They say it's coming in DLC. That's strike number 1.
Yeah.
Then you pay $10 for it. The games are boring, and then all that's part of that mission was you had to get a certain amount of money in the casinos, and there was one mini game, and it had nothing to do with the plot. It really didn't offer anything. Strike 3.
Well, okay, let's talk about the actual, probably the biggest offender of DLC thus far in terms of recent memory, Battlefield 3. With the premium update, $60 or $50, sorry, for basically getting all this new content. So you get the close quarters, the armored expansion,
and we can also argue with Call of Duty Elite because if you bought that and you bought the premium version, you got all the DLC for free there.
So those two guys, there's such a thing as overcharging the thing and then undercharging as well. But this is like, it's so much money, and I get that it's a way for them to keep all the money coming in for the development costs as well as keeping the servers up online. It's just, I think it's really overpriced in terms of.
Well, it's definitely going to get to a point where I think companies are going to have to look back. If they aren't already, they're going to start looking back at what they've been doing and thinking, okay, we might have gone a little overboard on this. Because I'm sure there's some games that they release major DLC projects and it doesn't get sold.
No.
Because some people can't justify the price. And if the game itself isn't good and they're still releasing DLC for it, they're wasting even more money.
Well, the thing is, Battlefield 3 and Call of Duty, they can get away with it. If Medal of Honor started doing this crap, I don't think they could do it.
Not at this point.
No, not at this point.
Back when, if Medal of Honor was where it was on the PS2 era, at that point still with Frontline and Rising Sun,
yep,
they could.
Yeah.
I think they could.
They could have, but if they were to pull $50 for a premium update.
But we'd also have to ask what the hell they'd be putting for $50 because they haven't done anything yet.
That's true, but it's just no one's gonna buy it.
Well, like if they brought out a map pack and they charged $15-20 for it,
yeah,
for example, something more manageable.
Yeah, and then let's look at Halo's DLC with Halo 2 and Halo 3. They brought out map packs. You didn't have to buy them, and then when they got a certain amount, they made them free to everyone.
Yeah.
So.
You almost, this is why we need cameras sometimes, because Brian almost fell out of his chair, and it would have been fun.
That would have been hilarious. Anyways, what do you justify? What do you think is a good DLC? Like right now, out of everything on the market, what would you buy as DLC?
Well, I guess as a shooter guy, map packs are okay, but they need to be scaled down in price. Like for how Call of Duty's been doing it every week, like if anything, $3 to $5 every month for their packs, because they are offering some content. It's not like they're just giving us the bare minimum. They're giving us usually a couple missions, a map, like 2 maps. Like they just brought out a new one which gave a whole new game mode called Chaos Mode, which is like Horde mode, but even more fucking insane. Like they're literally spawning around you, so you're just going batshit crazy.
Well, that's what I'll say for.
But like that's the kind of thing that you can justify putting money down on, because that's something new. because it's a map, like when Modern Warfare 2 came out, they usually had 4 maps every pack they brought out.
Mm-hmm.
And they charge, I think, $10-15 for it, and that's way too much.
That's a lot of
You're
money.
paying $60 for a game that probably came out with 10 to 12 maps to begin with, and you're charging like a third of the price just for another 4. Like, you didn't just put 12 maps and then sell it for $60. No, you put 12 maps and a game for $60.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of cash.
Because nobody can tell me that it costs them that much to make these maps.
No.
It's costing them more to make the fundamentals of the game and not the
just thinking about like all the people that bought Call of Duty and then will buy a map pack.
Yeah.
$15, they're probably making like $10 in profit off of every single sell. And say they sell 1 million of them, $10 million.
Yeah.
Boom. Done. All good. I wish I had that. I will say though that BioWare did do a good job in their multiplayer DLC.
All the stuff has been free.
It's been free up until this point, and you know what? That's been great for the fans that have been raging at them. You know, they've kept the multiplayer fresh and awesome and sweet to the best degree that it can be. But
I mean, really, like Conrad's got it right when he says DLC should be a way of saying thank you for buying our game.
Yeah.
Unless it's something substantial, like say like an expansion pack or something like that. If you guys had an idea of putting something else in quickly, then come on, give it to us.
Yeah.
Or if anything, really scale down the price. Like for a game with fighting characters, if you're gonna bring out like 6 new fighting game characters or something like that, $2.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Really, $2.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that.
It's not. You're not changing your game. All you're doing is adding animations and stuff. Most of them you're probably recycling some anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, come on.
It's
$10-15 for something that most. Because especially with Marvel vs. Capcom, a lot of the packs they release, like you only want to play like 1 or 2 characters out of the 8.
You don't want to yeah, exactly. You get used to one character, and that's all you play for a good substantial part or a good part of the game. I mean, unless it's doing something that actually adds more to the gameplay, like Deus Ex Human Revolution's Missing Link DLC. I think that was actually pretty decent because it added you didn't really need to know this part of the game, but it was kind of nice to have that little bit. But otherwise, I really miss the days of having expansion packs. I mean, those were fun. They were brand new games. I mean, yes, they were a little bit shorter, but I mean, they were fun.
Except for Sims.
Well, okay, the Sims just got crazy.
The Sims got a little, just a little, just a tiny
Sims
bit.
House Party, Sims Pets, Sims.
There's a Katy Perry expansion pack for the 3rd one now. That tells you where it's going.
Oh man, but the thing is, people buy that
because people are suckers.
Anyways, I think that's about it for DLC right now. But I really wish we go back to someone come out with some kind of DLC that is worth buying, and I will love.
Yeah, that hasn't happened in a while.
Anyways, you're gonna tell me about your Persona 4 Arena funness, which I've seen you playing on Xbox Live a lot, and also the surprising London 2012 games being good for some reason.
Dun dun dun.
I'm confused.
Well, I'll start with Persona, obviously, because I was going to post it originally and I had audio issues, so it didn't end up coming, so I figured, fuck, I'll do it here. I'll probably repost this clip that you're listening to right now with the video, because, I'm posting this at the same time. Whatever, you get the idea. But, I've always been a big Persona fan. Like, when Persona 3 came out, I saw it on, I think it was GameSpot, it was where I was still surfing them, and I saw a review on it, and they gave it a massive rating, and they don't rate JRPGs very well at that point. Like, most of them were lucky to get 7s, because the JRPG was getting so stagnant at that point. Everything was it was the same crap. It was the same animes, sort of deal, same stupid facial expressions, the same big smile or big stupid sad face whenever they're crying with a big giant teardrop drawn on their face. And they were always doing the same stuff. It was about the silent hero. And Persona does it too, but what they allow you is the freedom to literally do everything else. You're not speaking, but you're speaking for your character through your actions and sometimes your words. What Persona did really well, and I've said this so many times on this show, I'm sure, and to other people, is that they will touch subjects no other company will right now.
Like what?
Suicide was a big prominent theme in 3, and death happens very, very commonly through there. A lot of depression goes through it. But the big thing 4 was huge for was sexuality.
I see.
There was one character who is gay and has a huge problem with it because the whole thing in Persona is that especially in 4's version, is that there were two things. There's personas and shadows. Personas are RPG slang for summons, really. Mm-hmm. But a persona, what that is a manifestation of yourself. Because a shadow is a manifestation of your weakness. The thing you don't admit that's part of you. And what happens in this special world that gets formed inside a TV in Persona 4, it's called the Midnight Channel, which these shadows come out and they turn into monsters as manifestations of your weakness. Because they want to be their own selves because you won't accept that part of you. So they want to be themselves. So eventually what happens is that the characters would all go through their little shtick, not accept it because they don't want to accept what they don't think is part of them. So they'll say that, you're not me. It'd be their own form in front of them. And they turn into this gigantic monster. You'd fight them and then eventually they'd accept it. And that was the huge thing, is that they would just touch things like that nobody else would. Because the big thing with the gay guy is that he didn't want to admit that he was, that part of him existed. Because he dressed up really tough, had the skulls, he had the really slick back white hair, the piercings and everything. He fights with a chair. That's his weapon. He fights with a freaking steel chair like he's a wrestler.
So he's Hulk Hogan, essentially.
Yeah, kind of. He doesn't give big boots at the end and doesn't do big leg drops, but
I see.
But there's a lot of weird weapons in that game. A lot of people will fight with like swords and stuff, but there's like one girl actually uses a gun, which you think in Persona 4 Arena, if she's shooting somebody with a gun, well, fuck, everybody should have been dead by the end of the game. But he fights with a chair. And there's other stuff, but the other person is that there's a girl and her name's Naoto. But you, at first glance, you would actually, well, I thought she was a girl right away because I'm so used to anime and them having girls who dress like guys because they don't want to be seen as girls.
Yeah.
And that's her thing. She's a detective. She doesn't want people to know that she's a girl, so she'll get treated differently because she wants to be a big time detective. And let's be honest, women still aren't treated the same equally, and especially in policing, they are getting to that point. But you still wouldn't be taken nearly as seriously. I don't think.
It depends on, what court you're in.
It depends. Yeah. But it's the same deal. Her shadow knows that she's female, wants to be accepted as that, and wants to, and she won't admit that. She wants, I don't know if she wants to be a guy, more or less she just wants to hide the fact that she isn't. But it's stuff like that. And the game itself, like, I put so much time into it, and it's just such a phenomenal series.
It looks like, because I see you putting in a couple hours each day playing the game, so it must be addictive in some way.
To me, I said it in my review until the audio conked out. It's hard for me to review something that I have to put so much bias in because I love the Persona series, and the guys who make it is Arc System Works, which are the guys that do Guilty Gear and BlazBlue, and they are phenomenal with 2D games.
Well, tell me about the gameplay. Like, how is this game run?
It's the way that Arc System Works always runs their games. It's always so fluent. The animations are just extremely ridiculous and phenomenal and look beautiful. The environments are just unbelievable, and for people that are fans of the series, it looks very, very, very identical to what you saw in the game, and the art style is very close. The director of the original game worked very closely with them on this.
So it's turn-based strategy?
No.
No?
It's still straight-up fighting.
So live act,
Yeah.
Wow.
2D fighting, straight up.
Sweet.
And, it acts like any other game. There's combos, there's special moves, but your persona, like a summon, you can summon him briefly onto the field as a standalone guy with you. So, you can use him to distract your enemy while you set up an attack. So, they got to avoid one thing, and then you just all of a sudden just charge at him and go flying at him. It's a good strategy point.
Yeah.
And they also have auto combos, too, for people who can't do them ridiculously, like flick your fingers around everywhere and hit buttons left and right.
Yeah.
The cost is, though, it costs you a little bit of your life. Not very much, but enough to the point that veteran players won't even think twice about using it because every inch is a huge deal.
Yeah, it's worth it.
The big part itself, and this is so unusual for a fighting game, it has, the last really good story mode for a fighting game, I think, has been Mortal Kombat, the new one.
Yeah.
Because they really expanded upon it and went through the whole 3 games. This game literally takes off 2 months since the original game, where at the end your main character leaves back home because he had just moved into the town that the whole game's based in, and he goes back home.
Yeah.
2 months later, it's the holidays. He comes back, for a few days just to visit, and they thought they had taken out the whole murder mystery and everything was solved. The TV world was no longer functioning. The night he gets there, it's all of a sudden running again. And what's on the TV is almost like a commercial for a tournament with all his friends in it. And they're all thinking, what the fuck is going on? So they go in, and find out that someone has been dumped into the TV again, like the original game, and the whole thing is starting all over again. But not only that, but a few characters from the third Persona game also tie into it. Because the two games are only about 2 or 3 years apart, I think. So it's really interesting. I'm kind of sad. The one thing that I put against the game is not all of the 3 universes in. There are 4 main characters that appear in it and 2 really minor characters. But it's like, I'm maybe in DLC, if to go back to that, I'll have to pay for maybe the rest of the cast of it, because it would make sense to have them all in there, because they got 3. Well, they got 3, and one of the minor characters actually ends up being like a secret unlockable character, which anybody who knows the series, if you know Elizabeth, you know how screwed up she is. So when you think, I get to use her, this is going to be interesting. She is a really ridiculous... Like, she's not human, but she has a human form.
I see.
She's part of, like, this intergalactic sort of, like, psychological...
This is getting really JRPG-like
supernatural thing. But her personality, she's clearly never been in a proper world. So in the third game, like, you take her into the world, and she's just walking around the mall, and she's amazed by the simplest of things, and just starts... Her eyes are just gleaming from all these things that she sees, and she says such weird things, too. And she keeps having to correct herself because she doesn't understand human slang that much. So she keeps saying things in place of the wrong words, so it sounds really wrong. But it's why I love JRPGs. It's so quirky like that. But the fighting itself, I've probably never played a game that does it really that well. And to take something that's not theirs and work with it like they did with Persona is amazing. The only downside to some people who are fighting game veterans is that the story mode is very long. If you actually legitimately, there's a lot of text to read through if you want to. And instead of like what Mortal Kombat did, where the characters, you flip through characters as the story goes along, you have a whole set of stories for each character. But a lot of the same stories get redone. Just with slight dialogue changes and stuff, which kind of feels weird. Like, I had to skip over a lot of it because it's like the same situation keeps popping up at the end. So it's like, okay. But the game itself, the soundtrack is as awesome as it always is. The electronic beats to it, it's always really good. There's a lot of substance to it. It's only 13 characters, technically 12, because one of them is the shadow version of the new character, so it's like the boss that you get to play as. Because I don't know what happened with JRPGs, or not but fighting games, is they all of a sudden like starting to make you play as the boss, and the boss is usually overpowered. So why would you put the boss in? I remember, like, really, if you could play Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat 3, like, you'd kick everybody's ass.
Yeah, you'd kill everyone. Everyone would just be dead by the end of the day.
I mean, it's scaled down a little bit. Like, it's the same person, but with a different persona. Yeah. So the attacks are a little more brutal. But either way, the game itself, like, I'm going to give it 2 different scores for a reason. It's because you really have to be a big fan of the series to get fully into it. But as a fighting guy, you can still really get into this game, but the story might be slightly overwhelming because there's a lot of details that they do try to summarize it, but some of it is very confusing.
Yeah.
But for a fan of the series, it's a 9 easy. And for anybody else, it's an 8.
And this has been out for how long now?
This has been out since Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
So it's not even a week yet.
So it's still $60.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, go check it out at your local game store.
If you don't feel like paying the $60 now, it's definitely worth a $40 investment for sure. It's going to get you at least 20 hours for sure if you play the story mode in full and don't skip it like crazy. But even with, there's an arcade mode, they just patched the online already to make the lag even better. So like that tells you how much they're concerned about it already.
Okay. Well, at least the developer does care. So.
But anyways, the London 2012 Olympic game. Now, the only reason I bought it was because I heard that it's the best one ever made.
Yeah.
Which is code for it isn't below a 5.
It's a decent sports game, right?
The curiosity of me just said, okay, it means one of 2 things. It means, 1, they didn't half-ass it, or 2, it's not just button mashing, which is what every other Olympic game tends to be. It's button mashing and sometimes steering at the same time.
Yeah.
The game itself does a really good job. I'm surprised. Like, the production value is decent.
Yeah.
The locations are very, very lifelike. The athletes actually look very good.
So they spent a lot of time on the graphics.
They definitely did spend some time on the graphic, which is surprising.
So a lot of like the arenas that are in London.
I don't know if they're exact because I mean they obviously were building the game as they were building things, but they definitely look like they belong there.
Yeah.
I don't think the boards and the advertisements are the same as what actually came out, but it's in the ballpark.
Yeah.
The events themselves, like, they give you a lot of options, and it's amazing. They don't give you all the countries, which is disappointing. They only give you about 30 countries, I think, something like that, which is kind of disappointing. So, I mean, I guess I can't say nothing because I'm in Canada. You know, they're obviously going to be in the game.
Yeah.
But I mean, for somebody who's living in, say, you know, Mexico, or actually, no, I think Mexico's in it, but like, say, Cuba, or, you know, because Jamaica's in there obviously because of running, but, you know, other certain like smaller countries.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be so thrilled that I'm not getting to play as myself.
Well, there's probably a good reason for that, mainly because they probably actually made like head tracking, or like they actually made their faces
It's possible.
in it.
No, they're
No?
randomized. They put random names in because obviously they can't just get the same athletes. That would cost way too much.
Really? Okay, so yeah.
So basically, what they'll do is they'll get a base. You can actually change the look of them and then give them a whole new name, but they just randomize it.
So you can make Usain Bolt if you want to.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
You could, and you could make, you know, I don't know you could just make any random celebrity and just you could say, oh, what's his name from Dexter's in it or something like that.
Santa Claus is playing.
Yeah, I don't know if you can give him a white beard, but
you can try.
But either way, like the game itself, like it's what you expect it to be. It's just mini games.
Yeah.
But it's mini games that definitely work in games that you're not. It's not a game that you're going to be playing forever and ever.
No.
But it's definitely a game that either you can play online, which surprisingly was good. I barely played anybody in North America. I was playing mostly England. I even played people from South Africa.
Really?
And the lag was spot on. Didn't have a problem. I don't know if they were, but I had no problems whatsoever, and I played for a good 3 hours just to test it out.
So is this more of a play by yourself, play online game, or could you see this being a party game?
It could be a party game. I mean, Achievement Hunter's done a couple. They've done 2 Let's Plays because I think they're doing one more next week, and that ends it. They're doing like their own little competition, and they've had a lot of fun doing it. And I mean, the games themselves, like a lot of it is still button mashing, but what they do is they put a meter up and saying, okay, if you get to the top part, but if you button mash too hard, you're gonna start fatiguing and get tired. You're gonna slow down. It's all about timing, and it's all about, you know, keeping yourself in the right spot. But I gotta say, the shooting is the best stuff. The archery, the skeet shooting, and the accuracy shooting with pistols is so much fun, and it's really, really quick. Like especially with the pistols, you have to shoot 5 targets in 4 seconds. And with the analog stick, and you're trying to quickly get over to 10s and start firing away, you're flipping like crazy getting to it, and it gets really intense.
Well, that's pretty interesting, yeah?
And I mean, even simple things like running, it's still a lot of fun because there's 7 other people next to you running, trying to beat you, and you're sitting there thinking, shit, damn it, I pushed too hard, damn it, I'm in last, what the hell? Dang. Oh wait, I'm a Canadian, this is probably why I'm in last. I lost to a bunch of Jamaicans, of course.
No, well, I mean, this is a game that's obviously meant to be a promotional item for the Olympics.
But surprisingly, it's not like any other promotional thing where they rushed it out the door. They clearly put some work into it.
Let's see. Do you know the developer?
Sega.
Sega
Did it.
Huh.
I don't know. I think it was a part of Sega. I don't know if it was Sega themselves. I will search this up while I'm talking. But...
Okay. But, I mean, the thing is, like, with these games, normally the reason why they suck is, like, the same reason why movie games suck. They have to be out for a certain time.
Yeah.
And so they're always rushed into development. They're using basically anything else they can pretty much grab as a means to start off of.
Sega Australia.
Sega Australia. There we go. Well, they did spend, like...
But they give you a lot of stuff. There's archery. There's all the diving and swimming. There's the they have a little bit of gymnastics. I haven't played gymnastics now that I think about it. Oh, I've done trampoline once, but there's still the vault and some other things I haven't done.
I see.
But they have the 2 shootings. They have the rapid fire pistol and skeet shooting. They have all the track and field. You're running your hurdles, which is really fun. Because I guarantee you, if you can go an entire run without hitting the hurdles in the first couple of tries, you're amazing at it. Because I hit 4 the first time.
Boof.
Damn it! Oh, I got it! Damn it! Aha! Still came in last.
No.
Apparently, they have beach volleyball. I haven't seen that yet.
Jeez, well, the thing
but
is...
only women, so you know where this is going to.
Oh, boy.
Sorry, Kasumi is not in this.
No,
dead or alive.
No.
But they have a lot of stuff in it. Even they even have table tennis.
Yeah. Well,
which is interesting.
The thing I'm wondering about is that since this is like a promotional game and they do have online play, I'm wondering how long the servers are going to be up for this.
Well, I actually didn't realize this until now. I just looked. It's been out since June.
Really?
End of June.
So it's been out for a while.
So I didn't even know. The only reason I got interested in this game is because of those words, and the Olympics were on, so I got interested. But I mean, to be able to play with people from Europe and Africa and stuff, and the servers are still holding up pretty nicely, is impressive. Considering it's a game that I don't think they were putting too much stock into actually getting a good result from.
Well,
I mean, you're probably just going to get the sales from the people who are just like stuck in it.
Yeah, true. Well, at least it's being made by Sega. and I think they probably own the rights to making all.
But
the
I'm looking at the
games,
scores
they did
here.
Beijing last time.
Metacritic's got it around 66 or 65-ish as an average.
Yeah,
which is impressive given the fact that it's Metacritic and it's an Olympic game and it's a rush out the door kind of game.
Yeah,
that's impressive, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I guess. Well, the thing is, like, because Sega did the Mario, the Beijing one last time, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone did a Vancouver game. I think
they did a Winter Games too for Sonic.
Really?
And Mario. I'm not sure, but
I'll have to take a look at it because I think all the other games were made by. I think I remember Torino or no.
They made a Torino one.
Yeah, because I think those were.
I can't remember if they made a Beijing one or not.
I think it was either EA or Activision made that.
It was somebody who didn't care.
Yeah, they were bad games. And they've always
like every other Olympic game has been before.
Well, they've always been bad games. I mean, like, sports games don't necessarily lend themselves well to video games. It's just like when you think about running, how do you make that a game without making it a button mashing game? I mean, hockey, baseball.
Do you ever remember the American Gladiators game?
No.
Like the final event, whatever they called the gauntlet or whatever the big long obstacle course is.
Yeah.
Really, it was just button mashing the whole way.
And watching someone on the screen do something or that stuff.
Like really, it was just for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's just whoever's fingers didn't break by the end of it.
And there's so many better ways of making a obstacle course like game better for stuff, things, and places.
Yeah.
Whatnot. I'm losing words because you're moving your laptop around, and I don't need to see that because I have my phone.
Whatever. I'm being nice.
Thank you for being nice. So, we are going to now get into QuickTime events. And I'm going to start off with, because I can't read on my phone now, I'm going to look at yours.
See, I always am here to help.
Thank you, Adam. Rumors state Nintendo is having a manufacturing nightmare with the Wii U gamepad and may shift the international release to December.
That's not a good sign.
It's not a good sign because they're probably trying to find a way to make the actual gamepad, the screen inside it, worth less than $100. Because if they're charging $100 to $150 for this thing, which most people are betting on, no one's going to pick it up. And if they go any less, they're going to be losing money off this for a long time.
I mean, they're still going to get the people lining up halfway down Walmart to buy them, but still, like, you're pushing it to early December. Like, you're really, really pushing your release date now.
Well, may shift the release date, but
if
it does,
that's not good.
The thing is, it's going to be the first of the next generation consoles to come out the gate, and being that they will catch a lot of people, that want their console fixes.
Sorry.
No, continue.
No, it was something funny. I was watching Real Steel last night, the Hugh Jackman robot boxing movie.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it, but they have Xbox 720 advertisements in the arena. And I'm sitting there thinking, we don't even know if that's the actual name for it yet.
It's a working title.
I just looked at that, I'm like, that's not even the name for it.
Nope. Well, the thing is, I want to see what Wii U starts off in terms of cost and when it does come out, because if Wii U fails, this is a big opportunity for another company that's going to be in the QuickTime events in a few minutes, Ouya. And if they come out with their console, people that want a new console game, I think Ouya is going to definitely sell with their $99 console. Anyways, moving on.
But images have surfaced of the 2.0 version of Kinect, which I would assume would be for the next console. Mm-hmm. And it was one image, but it definitely looks a lot sharper. It looks like there's a better depth.
Yep.
So that you won't have to be in this massive 10 by 10 room or something like that. You could actually be in front of the TV in a small basement room like most people have in their houses. Fucking Microsoft, you idiots. But it looks like it's better definition because, again, the graphics are going to be better. They have better technology. We have the technology. We can rebuild it.
Yep. And the thing that we're looking forward to is more than, I think it's 4 points or 5 points of capture.
Because, I mean, even in the one guy, you can see a little better definition of the fingers, which would be amazing because Kinect thought they could do that kind of stuff the first time. And
it will be interesting to see if they can capture finger movements as well as eye movements as well.
So whenever you just flip somebody the bird, they think, okay, shutting down.
Shutting down. Big news coming out of the modding community. The Arma 2 mod, DayZ, will be coming out with their own standalone game. Now, honestly, this is what sells Arma on Steam right now. It is probably the funnest, scariest, probably most realistic zombie shooter game on the market right now.
I got my ass handed to me by your buddy Derek. Because I said on the Twitter account, I didn't think about it when I posted it. I said it was unprecedented, and he's like, no, there's been tons of mods that have gotten their own games. I'm like, shut up, I'm not a PC gamer.
Such as Counter-Strike, Team Fortress. Let's see.
This is what happens when I'm really excited about news and really tired at the same time, so I don't pay attention to what I'm writing.
Well, you know,
I'm still working on journalism. I didn't take that class in Mohawk. All the journalist students in Mohawk were douchebags.
I had one journalism friend, too. They were pretty nice. Anyways, DayZ...
When they're not working.
DayZ will be coming out with their own standalone game, which is going to be amazing because DayZ does fall flat in a few things that Arma 2 has to, are part of the Arma 2 engine. What happens with it when it's released, we don't know what it's going to look like. Again, it was just announced this past week. We'll probably see some more news in maybe 3 or 4 months' time.
Let's just hope they keep the content of it and not try to up the action on it.
Well, I think it's the definite thing with the DayZ is its simulation qualities, and that's what makes it really fun. And that it's a free-for-all.
Because I almost want to look at that and think, okay, if somebody else is remaking it, I have a bad feeling like it's not going to be the same.
It's the developers behind it are the mod are going to be on, they are making it, and I don't know what else is going on with it.
I'm just afraid with a better budget they might change it to the point that it might not have the same
well, you know what?
to it.
To be honest, having a better budget in this regard will help them out a lot because
there
are some really big bugs inside it that just kind of like the zombie placements. The running is kind of it's not something that Arma's been good with, and it's just there's some things that really kind of kill the gameplay in terms of immersion.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But as you were talking about Ouya. The Kickstarter project finally stopped.
Yep.
I know they've stopped making money. They may or may not have beaten their $950,000 goal. They only
really,
yeah.
You don't say.
They may or may not have. I mean, it's only $8,596,475. I don't know. That seems like they might have beaten their goal just a little above 100%. I'm not sure. I'm not good at math. They might have just done it just a tiny bit.
A little bit.
It's
one of the highest grossing Kickstarters ever in the lifetime of Kickstarter. So this is pretty cool. Can't wait to see it, but I'm also keeping an eye out on other Kickstarter campaigns like the Oculus Rift, which is making millions right now as well. So going on to the next one, The Last Guardian trademark has been abandoned. Now, if you don't know what The Last Guardian is, then I'm sorry, but it's the same. It's from the developers that made Shadow of the Colossus and Ico. Basically, the speculation has been that Sony Entertainment has just canned The Last Guardian for the stuff. I know
they haven't officially said it, but we're not stupid.
Well, I think they've come out and said that they haven't abandoned Last Guardian, that it will come out on PlayStation 3. But they've had, the development team has gone through a couple of different changes.
And a lot of people have left it.
Yes, some of the producers and one of the game directors have actually left the company to go off and do their own thing. And they've said that they're going to make Last Guardian in the way that they want it to. So apparently there's some outside forces from Sony that want to make it more mainstream. But I had a conversation with someone over Twitter about what would happen to Last Guardian, because this is getting kind of late in our PlayStation 3 life cycle.
Because it was supposed to come out in 2009.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And then it got pushed to 11, then it got pushed to this year, and then now we think it's gone.
Yeah, the trailer's been around for a while. But one of the things that he said, and the person I was talking to on Twitter, was it could come out on the PlayStation Vita. If they take whatever they have for the PlayStation 3, low-res it, and put it out on there, it could be a selling point for the Vita. Because as they've come out and said that the Vita sales, they're not great, but they're acceptable. So we'll see what happens with that. Otherwise, it could be a great PlayStation 4 release title as well.
And speaking of terrible PlayStation stuff, Sackboy and Raiden images have briefly leaked on the internet. So it's suggesting that they're part of the game itself.
Of PlayStation's Battle Royale?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
As we keep saying, Sony Super Smash Brothers.
Yep.
But I'm not surprised if Sackboy's in there. I mean, fucking Parappa the Rapper's in it, so Sackboy, that's like cakewalk.
Sackboy was a guarantee, because that's pretty much, other than...
really, he's the flagship now of Sony. That's the most recognizable face in Sony. I don't care what anybody says. It's not Drake.
No.
To me, it's Sackboy. Everybody's seen that face.
Everyone knows Sackboy.
Everybody likes cute things.
Yep.
Admit it. All you fucking guys out there, you like cute things too. Don't you lie. I have a plush Moogle in my house. Don't tell me we can't like nice things.
Okay, Adam, whatever you like, you can have.
I'm squeezing the teddy bear and just popping its head off right now.
Yes, Sackboy was kind of expected. There was definitely going to be someone from
I
the
think
Metal Gear
Raiden was
series.
already rumored. I think people were already expecting Raiden and not Snake.
Yeah.
Which doesn't come as a surprise. Nintendo used Snake.
Yeah.
So I feel like there might have been something in the background about it.
Yeah, there might have been some kind of content deal because, I don't know. But Konami was definitely going to put someone in from the Metal Gear Solid series.
Yeah.
And that being Raiden. We'll definitely see some more...
Well, considering Revengeance, which is the stupidest word I've ever heard, since that's still on the market somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's coming out eventually.
Is it even coming out for PlayStation anymore?
Yes,
I thought it might have just been going for 360 now.
I know it's coming out for Xbox and PlayStation. It's just when it comes out will be the thing.
If it comes out. Yeah, I know. I really want to smash some watermelons, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Anyways, moving on to our open-ended question. What is the best and worst endings you've ever played through a game? Adam, after you.
The best one was easy for me. It's Final Fantasy X.
Yep.
And most people would be like, yeah, but it was a really sad ending. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really, really heartfelt ending to a game that I literally spent a lot of time into.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of very few endings that have actually made me cry.
Yeah.
Not like openly wept, but like tear. Yeah. Like at least have the water starting
Single
to come
man
up.
tear coming down your eye.
I wouldn't more. Well, I never let the tears come down.
Yes.
I don't really want to have to go. Oh.
Oh God.
But either way, like, and I'm not gonna spoil it, obviously. Yeah. But it's not. It's the kind of ending that you're all happy that you've won, and it's just like, and then all of a sudden it just takes a nosedive, and you're like, oh shit.
Then you just feel depressed for the rest of the day.
Yeah. And then 10-2 came out, and then it was just like, okay.
So
okay, I wish you guys had just done this the first time, so that way it would stay happy, and then you'd kill it.
Yep.
And by kill it, I mean kill Pain.
Pain didn't need to exist in that.
No, she did not.
No, she was...
There's a lot of characters in that game that did not need to exist.
No.
There were some dumb names in that game, too.
Yeah. There's just...
LeBlanc.
Really? I don't even know. It was a weird game. And you know what? It was nice to continue and see some of the characters again and get a little bit of... It was a massive epilogue. That's what it was. Yeah. With a weird storyline in it. But yeah.
Worst ending.
Worst ending?
Fable 2.
Oh, yeah?
Well, the guy who pretty much makes your life a living hell the entire game, you finally get to the point where you're standing off against him, and you're thinking, okay, epic boss battle, here we come. One hit. And
then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
And even if you let him talk long enough, Reaver will shoot him for you. And it's actually pretty comical. I like it, too, because you're standing on like a pillar, and if you shoot him, he just falls into a hole. And one death fall and whatever.
Yeah.
If you don't, Reaver, who's one of your party members, he'll shoot him for you. And all of a sudden be like, oh, I'm sorry, did you want to kill him? That's it.
That's all.
That's the end.
That's disappointing. A little bit disappointing.
There are a lot of games that are bad for that. Rage is really bad for that, where it just suddenly stops.
Yeah.
Like, that's my pet peeve. I'm sure there's a lot of really, like, stupidly written endings that legitimately end, but I can't stand endings that just end without resolution.
I understand.
And I can accept certain ones that end with an idea of a sequel in mind. Persona 4 Arena ends like that, where I'm mad that there wasn't a full resolution, but it's making it obvious that there's going to be another game coming out with both universes colliding.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to think if that's Persona 5, to have 3 and 4 join forces.
You really love the Persona series.
I do.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
If RPG fans, if you haven't played it, seriously, Persona 3 is on the PSP, and 4 will be out on the Vita on the 23rd of October. I'm getting a Vita just because of this.
Yeah.
I wanted to wait longer, but it's forcing my hand. I have
now
to.
Now you have to get it. All right. My best endings will probably... there's so many of them, and I'm going to rattle off a couple quick ones right now. Metal Gear Solid 4, the ending, Swan Song for Snake. Mass Effect 2, really great ending. All the stuff that you want, all the things that kind of led up to that point, all interact with each other, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
And Halo Reach was actually
really
fun.
standoff.
It was going through all that, and then going through the battle at the end was really fun. Well, it just made me feel like, okay,
It's like when Ego Raptor's making fun of the Mega Man X fight with Vile at the beginning of the game, where you're fucked.
Yeah.
But you have to play.
You have to play, but it's like that. It feels like, okay, you are probably the last.
I'm surprised Call of Duty's never done that. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. Well,
how'd you have a final standoff? Because there's a part in Modern Warfare 3 where the American guys save the English guys' asses and stand back.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a bit of a standoff at the end, but I mean, you still get pulled out of it.
Yeah.
I would think that'd been really cool to play as those guys at the end and just keep going until you ultimately... Well, they died through an explosion in the plant, but it would have been cool had it waited just a little longer.
Yeah.
And had you just fight for your life and just keep yourself going until you inevitably are done.
Until you get shot, yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't done that, I think, because they always seem to like these big dramatic finishes.
Yeah.
They've never done that. That's really surprising to me.
That might be coming out eventually.
Yeah.
Give Infinity War time. They'll steal
Guys, seriously, I want some money from this.
The worst endings I've ever played through would be Final Fantasy 13, mainly because my ending was me rage quitting at the a certain point. I'm just like, fuck this game and fuck you, Xbox.
That's a Brian Best ending for anybody who's not sure. That's not a real ending.
No.
The game doesn't stop by telling you to rage quit. It's your own accord.
It was just...
I did it 3 times. It's okay.
Jeez. I mean, Mass Effect 3, the original ending was just... It made me feel bad, but it wasn't the worst ending I've ever played through. Jeez, I'm probably going to think of like 5 other ones right after this, but like, the worst probably I've been through... I don't even know. the Final Fantasy 13 is the only game I've ever finished. Like, I've liked all the endings because I've just kind of like, that's alright, it's okay. Finally, okay, there's some kind of ending to it. It's just,
And now that I think about it, because I've had some time, the endings to BioShock are really good.
Yeah. The BioShock 1?
Especially, yeah, whichever one it was that if you save all those, I think it might have been 2, where you save them all. And, you know, by the time you go through all these flashes where you're with them at their wedding days and when you're on your deathbed, all of them show up. Mm-hmm. That's a really powerful ending.
Yeah, that's true. Although, okay, worst ending, I'll say. Half-Life 2, Episode 1. Hated that shit.
Not 2?
Okay, well, 2 is another story because
2 is my pet peeve where it stops and then we haven't gotten anything else.
2 is a fantastic ending, and it's so upsetting that it's been this long since we don't have 3.
Valve.
Oh my god, I hope the voice actors don't die in the meantime. Like, that's a serious concern at this point.
Like, come on, guys, even Sonic's got sequels to 4 now.
Yeah, it's like, no.
The remake for Final Fantasy VII is going to come up before Half-Life 2 episode
3. Oh my god, I'm so angry that it's been, what, 5 years now? Like, coming up 6?
Even more than that, maybe.
It's just so, like, and if you've played through it, you know what I'm talking about. It just leaves you feeling dead inside.
I still go back to that joke I said, we're going to see Ricochet 2 before we're going to see Half-Life Episode 3.
We're going to see another Duke Nukem before we see an Episode 3.
I don't think so. After that one, I don't think so. I may have to take your bet on that one.
Yeah? Okay, well, I hope that Valve does something with that series, otherwise it's just going to go to waste. And it sucks.
They're not going to waste it, it's just they're really being assholes right now.
It was like, we might release it. No, we got bigger things to worry about.
Like we said, I can't remember which episode it was, but we said the day it comes out is the day that for the second that game comes out, everything will shut down for about 3 days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The entire world will stop. Well, in terms of IT, we'll just be like, I'm sorry, we're playing Episode 3 right now.
I had this conversation because my girlfriend works at Tim Hortons, so I said to her once, what would happen if every Tim Hortons in the country shut down for 1 day?
Everyone would be fucked.
The apocalypse would come.
You would just be like, no! No, then everyone would switch to Starbucks or Coffee Culture or other coffee shop.
They wouldn't go to Coffee Time, I'll tell you that much.
No, not Coffee Time.
You ever had Coffee Time stuff?
No. Well, McDonald's is making... Okay, we're not even talking about video games.
I love explaining it to my American buddies when I say Tim Hortons, and most of them know what it is now, because some of it's crossed over.
Yeah.
But somebody's like, what the hell is it? I'm like, oh, it's your Dunkin' Donuts except 10 times better.
Yeah.
They go, what do you mean? I'm like, your donuts are shit.
They're not even real donuts. They're like just sugar things. We're not even talking about video games, Adam.
Yeah, but we're talking about donuts. People can accept
donuts? Okay, donuts.
I would assume so. Okay, okay, fine. If we're going to talk about food products and we're going to talk about, video games, then we might as well talk about Doritos and Mountain Dew, okay?
Yeah, true, okay. But, like, it's... Okay, I was in Florida, and I was at a Dunkin'... Like, there was Dunkin' Donuts right beside my motel that I was staying at. Those donuts are a blasphemous take on donuts for the entire donut emperor of donuts. Those are not donuts.
You're doing my thing of banging on the table. I like that.
I'm trying to be quieter with using the pads of my fingers, but these donuts were just like, they're like cardboard sugary with a weird chocolate sauce and sprinkles that made you want to cry and just shriek in agonizing terror when you go back to Canada and try a Dunkin' Donuts thing here and it's just terrible again and you try Tim Hortons donut and it's amazing.
Brian, breathe. We have good donuts here.
Yes.
We have good blueberry fritters. We have cinnamon rolls.
Yep.
We have really good cookies.
Yep.
We have ice caps.
Okay. That's the biggest rant I've ever gotten into on this show.
Just to go to show you how we can set Brian off, you gotta start talking about food. As they say, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
I am a really fat man. I just gotta say that.
Just to get back to the Olympics game, there was this funny conversation on the radio because they were talking about why events like synchronized swimming are in the Olympics still.
Yep.
Because there's makeup and shit now.
Yep.
Really, if it's makeup, I don't want to think it's a sport anymore. So they're like, okay, get rid of all these like extra diving events and start putting in Cannonball. So you get these big 500-pound guys to see if they can get who can make the biggest splash. You get half points for style, half points for water displacement.
I'm just saying.
Best thing to suggest, Team Cannonball.
Oh God! I'm just seeing this.
It'd be like
700-pound guy just getting up, and the biggest winners will be the Americans, and then anywhere where sumo wrestling.
Get the guy who does the hot dog eating contest.
Oh my God! There would just be. If you get those really high diving boards,
the 10-meter platform.
Boom!
It'd be like SeaWorld. You have to get the big plastic suits on.
Oh my God, this would be the biggest.
Tell me that's not a great idea. Everybody would watch that. That'd be a big deal. The country that can make the biggest splash.
Oh God. That definitely needs to be a sport.
I think that should. Because there used to be, at some point a while back, there used to be belly flop championships here in Ontario.
Oh God, that would hurt so bad.
And and NBC used to do it.
Yeah.
I think it was either ABC or NBC. They used to televise these things.
Oh my God.
It's like when you watch shows like Tosh.0 now, and they show the stupid events that people have, like the planking competitions and all that. All the stupid redneck games, the big wheel of cheese that goes down the hill in England, where they start running after and rolling down the hills, and all the other stuff like that. Something like that needs to be an official sport somewhere.
needs to be.
Make it happen. Team Cannonball, 3 big 500-pound fat guys jumping into one pool, because it'd be the potential of death.
there's a huge potential,
and there'd be a reason to have a steroid problem. It wouldn't even be a steroid problem. It'd just be a fucking donut problem. It'd be you've been eating too much McDonald's. That's going to be an automatic disqualification.
What's that in your pocket? Is that a chicken McNugget in your Speedo? Get that out of there.
Ugh, 500-pound guy in a Speedo. Why did you do that?
Oh God! Images of Van Wilder coming back. They get the guy literally in a Speedo to jump off a diving board. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Because it's so ridiculous with some of the sports they have now, where it's like 10 different versions of the same sport. Like, guys, if you weren't good at the first one, don't go into any, don't make any others. Just be good at the one.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's like how with swimming, everybody's making a big deal about Phelps. He's won the same event, it's just extended the range for a little bit.
Yeah, it's
so
like,
you can win
50. 100 meters, it's 150.
Well, it's like
200.
50, 100, 200, 400. I'm like, okay. If you win 50 and 100, it's like, oh, you went one whole more length.
Congratulations.
I can swim 2 lengths of an Olympic pool.
Yeah, but you can't do it as fast.
No, but I can do it. I could probably do it at the same speed. It's just I wouldn't be that fast.
Wouldn't be able to.
I remember the triathlon at DC Drury that we did. We had to do, obviously, swimming, biking. It got to the point that we had to do, I think it was like 20 laps of the pool. And it got to the point that I intentionally picked the side because I knew I would tire myself out. Because the thing with me is that when I'm in a competitive spirit, I will try so hard even if I'm incapable of doing it.
Yeah.
So by about the 15th lap, I started just dragging myself off the side for the rest of the laps because I couldn't do it no more.
Can't do it any longer.
The second I got to biking, I started wrecking kids.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing I've always been decent at. I could still never be in the velodrome, but...
Well, you can once Milton gets one.
And then what happened is I was 4th after the biking because I really caught up. And then again, like I did with cross country back in elementary school, is I run really fast for half of it, and then I'm walking the rest of it. So I ended up from 4th to 21st by the end of it.
Oh god. Okay, that's it for Downloadable Opinions this week. This has been episode 12. Thank you very much for joining us. If you liked what you heard, and if you really like my donut rant, please like and subscribe to this channel.
Watch it more. Tell people. Get people going. We need more than 6 views.
You know
on
what?
These things.
We need that rant as a standalone video.
I probably will do that. There's going to be a couple clips from this one because this is over. This is our first hour-long podcast.
Oh, God, wow. Well, anyways, guys, thanks for sticking with us through this entire thing. I hope you've been informed with our opinions.
It's only been an hour to 5 minutes. It's not
whatever, okay. But tune in next week for episode 13, our unlucky one. I don't even know.
It might be good.
Might be good. Might be unlucky. I don't know. We'll have something to keep you entertained. But thank you very much, guys. We'll talk to you later. Adam, press the button.